Hispanic Heritage Month is almost here, and I know that some schools do a door decorating contest for Hispanic Heritage Month, so I thought it would be kind of fun to share a roundup of different ideas for ways you could decorate your door for Hispanic Heritage Month. Hey, my name is Ashley, aka Señorita Spanish, where I provide easy-to-use resources to save you time and energy while you're lesson planning. If you're new here, I just want to make sure that you know that links to everything that I mentioned is going to be down in the description box below. Alright, let's jump right into it. Several of these are ideas I pulled from Facebook groups. Some of them are other resources that I've shared and we're just using them in a different way. The first option are these monarchs. I thought this door was beautiful. I asked if it was okay if I shared it with you. Here's what it looks like. So they had been talking about immigration, and so they kind of combined the monarch migration and immigration with this beautiful monarch door. If you are planning on doing anything with monarch migration in your classes, you might like my video here with this free resource and download you could use to add to your lesson plans. Next up is this Español en el Mundo board. Something that I really like to stress with my students is how Spanish is so different, right? It's so different all over the world because there's so many different groups of people who speak it. Just like how in the US, we have tons of different ways to say a lot of our words. Just think about pop. Or maybe you're going, pop, soda. Or maybe you're thinking soda, Coke, right? That's one of my favorite examples for students when I'm talking about why are there so many different words? Well, think about the US. And then we're just one country. Spanish has so many more countries that speak Spanish as their first language or, second or third, depending. So when we're talking about how varied Spanish is, I like to give them some examples, and this bulletin board is just one where you can show them a whole bunch of different words for different vocabulary. I've talked before about these research poster projects for Hispanic Heritage Month, but I don't know if I mentioned that they actually make a really nice and easy classroom display for you. So if your students are doing this research poster project, all you gotta do is pop it on your board. Done! If you want to learn more about that research project for Hispanic Heritage Month and 5 tips to make it go super easily, check out my video here. Next up is funny or silly, right? Lots of times our decor focuses on different kinds of culture and language. Sometimes it's fun to just get your students to smile and laugh and play with the language. Even your novice students will get that joke as they walk up because it's so bright and so colorful. I thought that was super fun. You could also look up just like Spanish puns and see which one would be easiest for you to put on your door, but something fun and silly just to put a smile on your student's face as they're walking in. I usually use this board during Women's History Month, but it's actually a great fit for Hispanic Heritage Month too. It says Mujeres son líderes, and it's just a bunch of awesome women. Really, when you sum it all up. But it's also got a little bit of description of who they are and what they do, just because, right, I know that our students don't always know who these awesome women are. I already mentioned how research poster projects make a great set of decor because, right, it's student work, it's showing off student work, and it's way less work for you because it's student created. Another option for that are these free holiday research poster projects. It's a great option if you need a subplan kind of towards the beginning of the year. They come in Spanish and English, but since we're talking about doors, right, decorating, I just wanted to mention that if your students complete these, they're another great option to hang up and show off your students' work while decorating. Oh, if you want something super, super simple, the letters that have been in a lot of these picture examples are a free download on my site. You can grab it at the link below in the description. You could just decorate your door with those letters. Ta-da! The end. I love a simple bulletin board. Can you tell? I really am not a huge fan of decorating bulletin boards. So anything that is simple and easy, this is something you could just pop on your door and be like, did the contest. Oh. Next up is building off of those letters. Like I mentioned, it's in a whole bunch of different examples because I think it's just a really pretty simple way to decorate. But if you wanted to level it up a notch, you can make it a little interactive. This trivia game comes with 100 printable and digital questions. And there's a whole bunch of different ways you could use it, right? You could do a couple of questions each week, like every Friday you're playing throughout the month. Or you could do, we're going to play a couple as warm-up, or you could do, we're going to do some questions in class, and then I'll stick them on the door and add to the door decor throughout the month. So other students in the school can see the trivia questions and come and kind of test their knowledge for Hispanic Heritage Month too. I love gallery walks, and there are a ton of ways you can use them, and I have talked about that before on my channel. I actually have a video on these specific gallery walks and 5 ways you can use them for reading throughout the month. But they also make a really easy classroom display or door decor. You just print them and you hang them up. The end. You sensing a theme here, right? Simple, easy, That's us right here. Simple, easy door decor. Print the mini biographies, cut them in half, pop them up on your door. If you're looking for a great team building activity, La Profe Plots has these collaborative posters, which are super cool. So they come in different numbered options depending on how big your class is. You print off the sheets, the students each color the individual portion. When they're all done, you put it together and it makes this cool display for your door. Easy. Okay, we couldn't talk about decorating for Hispanic Heritage Month without including flags of Spanish-speaking countries. Sorry, there's my North Dakotan coming out again. Oofta. Print flags, put them on your door. I use this with the letters in that free download that I shared earlier, but you could do this with just the flags. You could do it with the flags and the letters. You could do, if you have like, you know, banner flags, that would be kind of fun and colorful and three-dimensional. You could have your students color the flags and then hang them up. Lots and lots of different ways you could do this. In my recent video on teaching geography in the Spanish-speaking countries, I mentioned how flags are really, really helpful to get your students to just start realizing the names of the countries are countries. Again, super low bar, right? But that way when you say, oh, we're going to talk about Peru today, guys, they're not like, Peru? Is that in Mexico? And you're like, no! No. So, one of my favorite easy strategies for just starting to teach the countries is to help them connect that symbol of the flags and the names of the countries so they understand this is a country. Super low bar. So adding the flags to your door for Hispanic Heritage Month is a great way to include those. Okay, next up, I found these examples for you on Pinterest, but they didn't link to an actual person. So if you know who these belong to, please comment below and let me know, but I thought they were great examples and I wanted to include them for you to see. I'm guessing they're from a heritage class. It says Nuestra Herencia Hispana, and then it has pictures of the students and they've colored flags to show where their heritage is from. And my friend Courtney has a fun project for her heritage students where they actually I think it maybe is a full unit where they talk about kind of how you have multiple sides of your identity and multiple parts of your heritage, you know, depending on where your family is from, where you are, right? Talking about all of that. So that would be a great way to do this unit from her and then kind of build it into your decorations. Just like how this second example that's kind of similar shows lots of different flags, but also shows a lot of flags from the United States. It's a great way for students to show that they've got different aspects to their heritage, but all of that is what makes up them. Oh, if you're new to teaching Hispanic heritage classes this year, you might like this video here from Courtney where she shares her best tips. She's got a lot of expertise to share, so check that out. All right, again, remember those letters are a free download in the description box below. Make sure you grab those so you can have at least one very simple decor option for Hispanic Heritage Month around your classroom or your school. And if you're looking for more ideas for Hispanic Heritage Month, make sure you check out my playlist here. It's got things that you can do with your whole school. It's got things for your Spanish club. It's got things for your classes. Pretty much everything you need for Hispanic Heritage Month right there. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.